Hope you guys are doing well. It's the end of March, so it's basically we're one quarter into this 2025, and things are going good. I'm really thrilled with where the channel's going. The weather's nice today, which is great. Hopefully spring is here. It's almost 80. That's not Celsius. That's Fahrenheit. You guys can do the math to figure out what that is in Celsius. But got the yard cut today. Did some stuff around the house. Did some cleaning up a little bit down here in the basement. Just doing that prep work that I have to do to basically build this new gaming table over here, which is going to be even bigger. So it can be a separate gaming table, or it can just be one gigantic one in the future. So I'm kind of excited. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll be. Right now, my gaming table is 15 foot by 7. This is going to be 6 foot wide, but I'm not exactly sure how long I'll be able to get it. I'm going to try to maximize it, enough room to squeeze my fat butter into it. But it should be good. Looking forward to that. And I needed an excuse to clean down here, so got that done. Mission accomplished. It was a crazy week at work, and but it's just the weekend now, and I'm kind of excited. So just looking at the first quarter of this calendar year, we're not doing fiscal year for all you business people like me. So far, I've got 2 games of Midgard done. I got everything written on my board over here. One of Chain of Command, one of Pickett's Charge, and one massive game of GDA, which hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was, once again, thanks to Scott over at Check Your Leader TV for joining me in that, and hopefully in more of these games in the future. We both are taking a little mental break to kind of recharge to get ready for the next game. I don't really think I need a mental break, but I needed a painted break anyway. Part of my bucket list for this year, or things to do, was to get through some of the boxes that Mike Desleret donated to me of Austrian, Russian, and Prussian Perry miniature infantry boxes. So I've got a bunch of those, and I've been pounding through them. The plan for the next battle, for me, it'll be one. I want to do a divisional battle. It might be a big divisional battle. Shocking for me. It's very similar to how the U.S. When we were engaged in the peacekeeping stuff in Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, and then after that, the U.S. command and the Mogadishu thing. Which I was involved in. Basically, they said we're not going under NATO command anymore, and that similar thing has happened with the non-British and German troops under the Duke of Wellington. The monarchs of Russia, Prussia, and Austria have kind of made a combined decision that we're gonna send some more troops. And we'll fight Napoleon over there in the same vicinity as Wellington, but right now they're going to be under command of one of our 3 countries' generals or command staff. So I might pronounce this wrong, but it almost sounds like Eisenhower to me. It's I've watched some video because there was a battleship named after this particular general, Gneisenau. I'm just going to leave it at that. Prussian commander. I've ordered the Prussian commanders from Perry Miniatures, the metal guys. I think you get von Perch, which I might be saying wrong. You get Blücher, and you get Gneisenau, and I'll probably check and make sure I'm pronouncing that right in the future. But I think I'm close. In that. The triple threat box there. I'm going to use him. I can't use Blücher, of course, because Scott's got him. But he's going to come in, and I'm going to basically take my 2 brigades I have of Russian, Prussian, Austrians, and just explode that into 6 separate brigades. Is that right? Yeah. So it's going to be, or or 24 infantry battalions, and that's going to make up this division now, and just going to be Prussian, Austrian, and Russian. And this is just something I've always wanted to do since basically I learned more about the Napoleonic time period. I didn't know a bunch getting into it. I really just kind of wanted to do a Waterloo thing. If you've seen any of my previous videos, now it's just knowing that there's, you know, the Danube campaign is the, you know, all these campaigns that, you know, and basically I think Napoleon was fighting Austria, you know, on the land more than anybody. So I had to have Austrian troops, and I'm planning on doing a very large Austrian force at some point. You know, continue the Austrians and then work on the Prussians, and then finally I'll work on the Russians. Right, and then I can basically do 1809. I can do any time period. And the uniforms might not be correct for the early Austrians when they had the different helmets and everything, but I'm going to do them for the late war Austrians. I think I have a box here somewhere. Nah, maybe I don't. I don't know. I've got boxes all over the place of troops right now to my right, but my troops are going to look like that, and you know, I'm not the biggest, like, you know, perfectionist on the on having the perfectly uniform for this, for that, this, for the other. As long as they're recognizable as Austrians, I'll fight them with any time period in the Napoleonic Wars. So that'll be the next battle, of course. I've got a graphic on my phone. I'll look at it in a minute. I might have to pause it. But there's after the defeat at Hal, Napoleon and Ney immediately left. So about 4 p.m. they depart from Hal, heading towards the Nivelles area, where General Davout was fighting General Blucher and the Prince of Orange. That battle didn't wrap up till 7 p.m. and I don't know how long it takes to basically chase each other around and get away from the battlefield and get your forces together enough. I think at 7 p.m. they would probably knock down for the night. Napoleon being himself, leaving at 4 p.m., he'd probably march until 8 p.m. before he or 9 p.m. Before he put his guys down for the night. So how close he gets to that, Scott will figure that out. But Napoleon, and I'm looking again over my shoulder here, he took Ney with him. He took the Grenadiers à Cheval as kind of a bodyguard. He took the 36th Regiment, the 69th, the 105th, the 9th Légier, the Vistula Legion, and the Imperial Guard Infantry. For a total of 14,695 infantry, 480 cavalry, and 24 guns. And they are on the way. As Wellington retreats to Brussels, the Gneisenau kind of arrives about that same time coming out of Brussels. He has more Austrians, Prussians, and Russians with him. Immediately, you know, just from not being too thrilled about the last couple butt kickings, the forces that were already with with Wellington from those nations peels off and joins up with you know, the Prussian general. They're going to stop short and defend one of the canals southwest of Brussels, while Wellington goes into Brussels itself and starts fortifying it and turn it into a almost like Torres Vedras situation like he did in Portugal. Just, you know, building redoubts, fortifying the area just in case the Austrians, Russians, and Prussians aren't able to stop Soult. Soult remained behind when Napoleon and Ney left. He becomes the C&C of this division. He is going to be slightly reinforced, but it's going to be with a caveat. He'll end up with 14,275 infantry, 2,880 cavalry, and I think 34 guns. I'm getting some glare on my whiteboard over there. 8 battalions will join him, 2 different brigades. and we're going to consider them the Marie Louises. They're going to be recruits, all of these. Plus, Scott described a trailing unit or 2 battalions of Imperial Guard. They're going to join Soult as well, and also to cover the loss of the Grenadiers à Cheval. I'm just finishing up also painting a new unit of French Dragoons. I wanted to have 2 of those anyway, and they're about halfway done. They will take the place of them, so now we'll have 2 brigades of cavalry, each with 3 cavalry regiments there. So 2 dragoons, 1 chevau léger, 1 chasseurs à cheval, cuirassier, and a carabinier regiment. So Soult will be just fine there, and then the Imperial Guard cavalry can travel with the Imperial Guard infantry, and everyone, they can stay with Napoleon, where they would he'd probably want them there anyways, a bodyguard. So yeah, enough of that. So at some point, once he gets everything gathered together, he will march up and attack, and that'll be my next battle. But I have to paint all those units. I have 2 more. Basically, I've been on a painting madness. I put a couple pictures out. I got 4 Austrian battalions done this week. I'm basically done with another one today. I've been painting like a machine, so that'll get me up to 6 battalions of Austrians. I'll have 2 more infantry battalions of Austrians to paint. Then I have to dig into the Prussians. I have to do 5 more Prussian infantry battalions. That's going to take a little bit of time, and then 3 more Russian infantry battalions. I did buy a few boxes of each to supplement what I had from Mike D. Yeah, I should have everything that I need to get those 24 infantry battalions on the table. I've also got 2 chevaux léger Austrian cavalry regiments to paint, and I already have the Prussian dragoons done. Artillery-wise, I'm not sure if I'm going to end up with 2 or 3 artillery batteries. I already have one Russo-Austrian, one I think I have another one for a second one, and I think I've ordered from Perry 2 more guns, Austrian guns. So maybe 1 Austrian and 1 Prussian. I can't remember, but I'd like to put the 2 Prussian guns together and the 2 Austrian guns together. So if I do want to do like later on a German campaign or a Danube campaign, I'll have already some guns started to do that. I'll figure it out. Trying to think what else I got. I've also got laid out a bunch of epic ACW stuff. I will get into that once I get this project done. I'm craving to play another GDA game, and it's great seeing that some fantastic, powerhouses of the community are starting to play some more GDA too. Dom's got a game. I think he's just editing up, getting ready to put out. Alex, the Storm of Steel's got a game out. If you haven't seen and also if you haven't seen JP, he's kind of like the group, the godfather of General Desarmées. He's one of the guys I really started watching. Him and his son played games like almost. Alexa, cancel. Sorry, I gotta get ready to go to church here in a minute. Him and his son played a lot of games when they were back in England. I think since over the last year, I think he moved to the United States, to Washington, D.C. He had to leave most of his 28mm stuff behind, so he's kind of been repainting and redoing. He plays a lot of, if you want to go back and watch a lot of old GDA, he's got tons of it. He plays some GDA 2, and now he's playing GDA 2 and Pickett's Charge, and he's just slowly painting new stuff up. I don't know how the heck he left all of his guys behind. I know, but traveling with that stuff is impossible. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope he got a great job in Washington, just because that's a big sacrifice, leaving your troops behind. I don't think I could go to England and leave my boys behind. I'd be like, freak out. I'd be calling someone to ship them to me, and I'm paying $1 million. So he's great. And then of course Scott's always got stuff coming out. Scott just did a tactical video, just to try to help the community out, and those are always great to watch too, just because you get someone who's actually been there, done that, and been a military instructor, and then shows you how to take real world tactics and then apply them, one, to the Napoleonic period, and two, to apply them to GDA2, and they actually make sense. I am not the best student of tactics. I am basically a combat ineffective, but even I was able to use some of what Scott had taught me, with concentrating and getting localized numerical superiority, after concentrating artillery in a specific area, and it worked. I think I need to work on my defense, and I've also I'm not going to use these cursed red dice anymore that are been the bane of Wellington's existence at least in my basement. Hopefully the new red dice I got that I had a short little video on the other day will work. So things I have coming up, I've got, of course, the divisional game of GDA, continuing the fictional 1815 campaign. Scott's been kicking around an idea of doing some 1809 stuff with, he threw that out. I'm not sure how much he wants to do with that. It's fine, because I'm still, once I get these 24 battalions done and the cavalry I want to get done, I'm going to do a lot more Austrians. They seem to be going very smoothly. I can knock out them in large chunks. So that's, especially with these Perry kits, they're as easy to do almost as the French greatcoats from Warlord, and they're a lot cheaper. You get more for you get more money, you get more troops for your buck, or your pound, or your whatever currency you're using. So whenever you get a chance, the Perry plastics are great. You can always supplement with Perry metals too, because they just feel awesome. The metal troops, when you actually you've been moving a lot of plastic troops, and then your hand hits on a couple troops that are metal. It's a different feeling. It's kind of cool. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that. So what I've got coming up, I'll do that GDA game, the divisional game, and then more of that. The Epic ACW. I am going to get sometime this year, because I do have the deadline of the Battle of Perryville that in October, that James and I had a meet. We were at work the other day. We started talking about how we're going to do it, and I got to start painting those guys, which are over there, and then at some point 12mm Victrix US and German, and mostly for O group. That's going to be the big thing. So I'm basically going to be a massive David Brown fan, like I already said I am half the time. But playing O group, Pickett's Charge, GDA2, and then I've got Midgard troops over here too. So a little bit of deviation, but everything ends up being like Reiswitz-Pretz games. So I guess I'm just a fanboy. I'm really liking the way they feel. I like the fact, and I've said it before, when I'm playing a system that's similar, it makes it easier to remember the rules. So it's not a huge leap from Picket Charge to GDA2. It's a little bit of a tweak, but it's not terrible. I do like Chain of Command too. I want to do that. I guess the new version of Chain of Command will be coming out, so I'll be having more of that as well. But I do want to work on those little 12mm guys, so I can get a lot of those done, as well as the Epic, and I can prove to myself that I can paint something else besides 28mm. So I think it's about it. What else do I got? I think that's it. I'm just waiting to get these guys painted. I'll show you some pictures or I'll show you some. I'll add the picture on that I have of the battlefield. I found a map, and it's got a couple towns southwest of Brussels, and I'll probably pronounce them all wrong. I think one's like St. Peter with a couple other things in front of it, and the other one's called like Luden or something like that. But you can see the map. I definitely have to work on my pronunciation, or might just give up and do the best I can. And also, we'll spin our camera around here in a minute and show you some Austrians that I've gotten done. And I think everything else is just still in sprue form or just starting. I've got Austrians everywhere. Those are dragoons over here, and there's Russians and Prussians over here, and it's like, and then down there's Epic ACW. So it's kind of like how it is in my brain. It's just total insanity, and it's okay as far as I'm concerned. But anybody else would probably lose their ever living mind. All right, we'll pause for a minute and turn the camera around, and that'll do it. So here's the Austrians I've gotten done so far. I put some pictures on a post the other day. I cleaned up one battalion that Mike had put together. Basically, I finished them up a little bit, tidied them up a little bit. He had a whole box with grenadier guys with the heads attached and unattached, not painted. I got them all done this week, and then I basically took some other boxes and put together two more line battalions. I know about two things about the Austrian Napoleonic Army, and that's jack and crap. So I'm learning slowly, but my priorities until I can retire right now are keeping up with medical technologies, learning about different ways we can use our ECMO devices to keep people alive, and then just basically techniques to maximize financial reimbursement, maximize education for my staff, and just basically it's a lot of work stuff that I have to really put my head into. And I will listen to any kind of podcast or YouTube video I can find. Tim the Napoleonic Wargamer, phenomenal source as far as I'm concerned. I've learned a bunch about Austrian stuff from him, and I've got a lot more to learn. I know enough to basically be dangerous. I think a lot of these units are designed how other Napoleonic units were. I've got a grenadier will be on the far right, company will be on the far right, on a light infantry on the far left. Then you've got your command stuff in the center. So I'm just sticking with that, and basically as long as they're recognizable as a Napoleonic force, I'm okay. So I think I still have my militia, but they still are in the box after they got blown away in the Battle of Hal. And then I've got another battalion I'm just finishing up. So that'll get me to 6. The last two I'm going to do Hungarian, which I think they're very similar, except they had like blue pants. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, but that's how they're going to look on my table. And I know the Hungarians, from what I've heard, were more apt to be in the horse, especially the hussars. I think the Hungarian were the original hussars, and they were really into that and just basically riding around and slaughtering people. They were world renowned for being the best at that. So, but Hungarian infantry were also supposedly a cut above even the German infantry that were made up the Austrian armies, because it's such a big empire. There was so many different languages spoke. I think that was one of the reasons they had so many issues. They just command and control was different when everyone spoke different languages. So, but once again, I don't know. I am not the best student of that. It's stuff I've heard from listening to people like Tim. But yep, there they are, and they're very easy to paint, and that's clutch for me. The flags, I don't know anything about them. You only get 2 per box, like one yellow one white one. My flags will not be right. I'm just kind of getting them out there, and at least I'm thrilled that they are Austrian flags. So, yeah, that's it. And I apologize to all you guys that are hardcore and know it all, but I sure as heck don't. And maybe in 8 years when I retire, I'm going to read a ton of books about everything Napoleonic, and I'll find out more. Pan to the left here without you throwing up. So I still got the troops set up from the battle. there's the Epic ACWs. That's the Iron League and those or Iron Brigade and those command strips you get to make a bit more bang for your buck. And there's the plastic sprues there for Union stuff. So yay, got that done. Well, I don't have it done. Those are prepped out and ready to go. I did get I do 16 man cavalry regiments. I did get 2 dragoon stands done, so I got 4 of them. So now I just got to finish up the dragoon box of 12 from Perry, and that'll be the grenadier companies for that regiment. So boom, getting things done, having a good time, listening a lot to as I said, any kind of GDA material or any kind of Pickett's Charge game I can find on YouTube, and if I can find anything that's basically got information about the Austrian military and how it was made up during the Napoleonic Wars, I'm trying to absorb that as well. I appreciate all the material you guys put out. It's very entertaining, and the price is right. I love YouTube. Thanks for everything you guys do. Thanks for supporting this channel. I'm really, I think I'd have fun just having a blast watching these myself, but it's just such an added bonus communicating with all you guys and interacting with your videos and talking to you, and it's just really makes you feel like you're part of something cool, because this hobby is just, in my opinion, awesome. So you guys be safe, have fun, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye.